So about an hour ago, I was just scrolling Twitter on my phone, as most of us do nowadays, and I got a notification from the DJI Fly app that said, the Mavic Air 2, now released. Click to view more details about it. And so I clicked on that, and I was like, this is probably just going to be another one of the DJI drones that costs a couple $1,000s, has some phenomenal specs, but is just kind of out of reach for a lot of people. And let me tell you, I was definitely struck wrong. After clicking on the notification and scrolling through the website and looking at some of the features, I was absolutely mind-boggled to see at the very bottom of the page that the drone only goes for $799. Now, I get that might seem expensive for a lot of people, and it definitely is. However, the specs that it is offering is absolutely phenomenal. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is show you guys why this is such a big deal by going through and offering some of my own opinions, as well as just showing you the raw specs of what this drone is promising. And I gotta say, no, I don't have it in my hands right now. I don't know everything for certain, but from the specs that DJI is giving us on the website right now, I gotta say they're usually pretty accurate. So first of all, going over to the DJI website, it offers a 4K 60 frames per second video and 48 megapixel photo, which is absolutely crazy. And in both photo, video, and panorama, it offers enhanced HDR, which is just great because a lot of cameras in general don't offer that now. A lot of people don't like HDR, but me personally, I love the look of HDR, and so it's great that they're including that. Scrolling down a little bit more, and this is something that just kind of blew my mind. The Mavic Air 2 is gonna have 8K hyperlapse quick shots, which is just, what? This drone is, first of all, a Mavic. So I guess DJI nowadays, they're not really expanding so much on the Phantom series anymore, and they're focusing more on the compact portable drones, but this is a Mavic and it has 8K quick shots, which is just crazy. Also, it's got a phenomenal new boost in battery life, which isn't too crazy in comparison to some drones, but it does have a 34-minute max flight time, which in and of itself is quite a long time for a single battery. So this is the highest level of battery flight time that any of the Mavic series has, and that's one of the things that the DJI video about the Mavic 2 Air brought up, and as well with the controller battery. So 240 minutes of remote controller battery life is pretty typical. Continuing on with the remote controller, this Mavic Air 2 will have OcuSync 2.0, which means it will have 10 kilometers of transmission distance, which I don't really know of any other drones that just out of the box offer that distance. So yeah, you're not going to be flying that far, at least I hope not. And for those of you in the United States, that is about 6.24 miles of distance, and that's 1080p 30 frames per second as well. So this isn't just some weakling transmission. Expanding down a little bit further, you can see the first glimpse here of the Mavic Air 2, and it looks pretty similar to other Mavics. Of course, it's got the props here that look similar to that of the Mavic 2 series, so that's cool. So these are the low noise propellers, which is great. This is a smaller drone as far as I can tell. It's smaller than the Mavic 2, but it's bigger than the Mavic Mini. Of course, the Mavic Mini is the smallest DJI drone that they offer right now. So going down a little bit more, you can start to see some of the image quality, but of course these are compressed videos and photos, so the true test of being able to see the quality out of this will be when people start getting their hands on the Mavic Air 2. And I hope to get my hands on this because this drone is just, oh man, it's the dream right now. So the cool part about this is you can go and record in D-Cine-like, which is common amongst the higher end DJI drones nowadays, so awesome that they have that. But it also records in HEVC, which is high efficiency video codec, and that's just basically H.265. So that allows for smaller file sizes for larger quality videos. Scrolling down a little bit more, you see why having HDR video is so crucial. It's just like, I love HDR. Look at the quality difference and how much better the footage looks. Specifically, look at the clouds and the mountains there in the background. That just makes the biggest difference with HDR footage. Here it talks more about the 48 megapixel photos, and basically 48 megapixels, that's about 4 times the average regular megapixel count of pretty much every camera out there. Most smartphone cameras have around 12 megapixels, so 48 being 4 times that is pretty crazy when you see how close you can zoom in. So like, here's the full photo here of these llamas, and scrolling down, you can just see how much detail you can pull out of an image with 48 megapixels. 48 is pretty great because you can go and zoom in and crop in and not have to worry about losing your image quality. With a 1/2-inch sensor, of course it's not as ideal as if it was a 1-inch sensor like the Mavic 2 line. Even still, here is showing with weak lighting conditions, so this kind of just shows even with the 1/2-inch sensor, it is still able to pull out an incredible amount of detail, at least what they're showing here. Real world use may not be as great. This is with their Smart Photo, which is an optimized capture, so I'm guessing this is a little new. I haven't really heard of this before, so that's probably new to the Mavic Air 2. So next up with what the DJI Mavic Air 2 offers is their autonomous flight modes and their cool autonomous things that the drone can do. So specifically the Mavic Air 2 has Active Track 3.0, Spotlight 2.0, and Point of Interest 3.0. So basically these are just autonomous flight modes. The Spotlight is basically, it just focuses on a subject and you just let it fly and it will track the subject.
Active Track is the same thing, but it avoids obstacles while it's doing it.
And as you can see here, it just makes a more cinematic move with Spotlight in comparison to the Active Track. And Point of Interest, that's just the typical Point of Interest. I don't really know how they got to 3.0, but you know, kind of cool that they still have that, of course. And then right below that is the absolutely crazy 8K hyperlapse. 8K is obviously not something that everybody has access to right now, especially even myself. I don't own an 8K compatible device, but the fact that it could be recorded in 8K and I could do some cropping in and post and zoom around and do stuff like that is just, it expands the possibilities of what you can do with this drone just so much more. So I'm really looking forward to this 8K hyperlapse because it just looks pretty phenomenal, and I'm very excited to test this out myself if I get my hands on the Mavic 2 Air. And continuing on the path of autonomous flight modes, quick shots. Quick shots is something that I use all the time on my Mavic Mini, and it's just been a fantastic addition to the arsenal as well. It has a lot of different things, so it's got the droney, it's got circle, which I don't totally understand circle because it's basically like a lame point of interest because circle ends up ending after it's done a full 360, whereas point of interest just continues going around and around. However, helix is pretty cool because this one goes and pulls out and does a circle. And there's a bunch of other ones here too. There's 3 other ones actually, but I'm not going to talk too much more about those because you can explore them yourself. Also, flight and safety. This is a big one. Like I was talking about earlier, it's got OcuSync 2.0. So it's got super advanced transmission capabilities. I don't know how they jam-packed this in here to be able to have such absurd flight distance, but I'll leave it to them. DJI, you're awesome in being able to do this. Also going further, the Fly Longer, it talks more about the battery, and then it talks about the obstacle avoidance. So it's got forward-facing, backwards-facing, and downwards-facing sensors. So this doesn't have upwards-facing sensors like the Mavic 2 Pro and Zoom does, but even still, myself, I've found that the forward, backwards, and downwards-facing sensors are the ones that are most important in your everyday flight. So I'm glad to hear that they included at least the most important ones in my opinion as far as the obstacle avoidance sensors go. Also, something kind of cool with the Mavic Air 2 is that it uses the new DJI Fly app. So I'm not totally sure why DJI is starting to transfer over to the DJI Fly app. I don't know if they're gonna over time transfer basically all new drones to the DJI Fly app. I don't know why they do that, but maybe they will. Who knows? Finally, as far as the Mavic Air 2 goes, it's got a brand new controller, which I'm super happy to see because I've had issues from day one with the Mavic controller. It's just, I don't super like it right now. I haven't had this new one in my hands, obviously, so I can't for sure say if it will be better, but from what I can see, it took the problem of having the phone down below the controller. I always hated the way that the phone clipped into the controller, and with this being out and exposed like this, I'm very excited to try this out. I would have to say, from looking at this initial picture, I wish they would include some clips. Maybe they will, as far as having maybe lanyard clips so you could have a lanyard around your neck. That would be nice. This does not include a screen on it, so that kind of stinks. That is a loss there with this controller, but it does look like it's got at least the basics here, and I'll be excited to see what it has on the rear of the controller. Maybe they might have more programmable buttons on the bottom. Not totally sure if they do that, but they could include that, and that would be nice to have if they did. And then also they just kind of shill on their new ND filters that will be available for the Mavic Air 2. And here is where I scrolled down to the bottom, and I literally like gasped aloud because I saw the fact that this is only $799 US, which, like I said, yes, I know this isn't cheap, but it is so much cheaper in comparison to the DJI Mavic 2 Pro. The Mavic 2 Pro retails for $1,599. So this is literally 2 times the price of the new Mavic Air 2, which has 48 megapixels. The Mavic 2 Pro only has 20 megapixels. It has 8K hyperlapse quick shots. The Mavic 2 Pro doesn't have anything close to that. The highest resolution it has is 4K 60 in video. And also, it does have the more obstacle avoidance sensors, and it does have the 1-inch sensor. But aside from that, pretty much everything else, the Mavic Air 2 just comes out on top with, and so that's really why I'm so blown away with this price tag. So I see this as being a super huge competitor in the DJI lineup in the Mavic series, and I'm very excited to see more about the drone. This was just announced today on April 27th of 2020, but you can click the buy now button and get your Mavic Air 2 yourself. So there you have it. That is pretty much all I've got for this new Mavic Air 2 drone. Let me know down in the comments below what you are looking forward to. If you are looking forward to getting it yourself, if the price is too high, make sure to let me know. Also, if you are considering purchasing this, consider using the affiliate links down in the description, because that doesn't affect the price for you at all, but it does kick back some of your purchase price to me to help support this channel. And if enough of you out there end up purchasing through my affiliate links, that'll allow me to go and purchase the Mavic Air 2 myself. But with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to let me know by clicking the thumbs up button down below, as well as subscribing for more videos like this. I will be releasing more Mavic Mini videos, as that is the drone that I've been flying the most recently. So if you're into that type of thing, make sure to subscribe. If you want to check out my last video, that should be up there, and some random videos should be down there. With all that being said, that is pretty much it for this video. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.